Commander Black, personal log 2021.28.11. Work continues on Big Mama, as it should. I'm far from finished, but excited to continue work. Hopefully, in time, it will be done. But until then, let's enjoy the journey. After all, it's not the destination that's important. It's how we get there. End log. Good. Hey, Six. Oh, thank you, Casper. Nice to see you again. Like I said before, the sleep was good. Never enough. Fortunately. Let's celebrate your arrival, shall we? I'm assuming you are good as always, Sticks. Also, congratulations on being first, Casper. First amongst all. Today, your title is the Alpha. I'd start asking if it's an onset, early onset Alzheimer's. Yeah, remember how you are. Morning, Chief of Security. Lieutenant Commander. Morning. Status report. Excellent. Good news. Hey, Genghis, what's cooking? Yeah, I know we got a lot of spice. No, I'm not going to change the formula. Just keep on collecting it. You know what? Go on to the Tesseract and collect the vegetables and stuff from there as well. It's not additional responsibilities, Genghis. It's your job. Yeah, well, this is not the other place, okay? So, you know, just do your job. Thank you. Besides, you should be grateful you're not catering to thousands anymore. Complaining. Oh, where am I going? Oh, like a spacewalk, early morning spacewalk. Oh, it's gonna be a hassle to do this once I extend this. Alright, Zud. Good. So much to do and plenty of time. Still not convinced about these round bits. This part looks nice. No issue with this part. It's these fabulous things that I'm not really comfortable. I think we'll replace them. But first, symmetry is in order. It worked out better than I expected. Oh. Oh, I forgot.
I am sorry, my responses are limited. You must ask the right question.
Didn't ask you a question, Ida. You're anticipating now. That's scary. Good morning, Ida.
Yes, Commander, it is.
It's creeping me out. Ida? Ida, turn light on. Thank you, Ida. Didn't even ask her a question. She's like, you're asking the wrong question. I didn't ask a question. You're asking the wrong question. But I didn't ask the question. But you're asking the wrong question. Okay. Okay. Whatever you say. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with... Okay. Oh, wait, no. Nope, this is not the right. This is the only piece that will work there. It'll work here though. Yeah, there's a lot of box stuff. That looks much better. Okay. Wow. Every spot except for where it needs to go. This looks really wrong. See? And corner half acre. Excellent. Block off behind this. Is there no way to get in there? You're so fun. Can't even find it again. A3 low. I didn't do anything there. On the bottom. gonna stick up tubes. Covered, but well, yeah. We're walking right in this area. Flat surface. Here. Frustrated. Transition down. I'm putting a window to see this thruster. And again, we have this area here. How the hell are we supposed to get to that without burning? This is going to be a small walkway. Honest. With less stairs. Fishing. Coming through here. Trying to run far enough away not to burn or get irradiated. So it's just small walkway. Nothing so big you want big. Stuff like that. And why is this shaped? Could have been a plan to bring a ship in here because the shaping is unnecessary. Unless it has something to do with the outside. Well, for now, we can leave it because it doesn't really matter. Why is this empty and what is this? Okay, so that's a thruster. It definitely needs to be covered. And this now. So let's shape. Gonna be. Let's shape down to here. Meet this point. Don't worry about the interior. Worry about the interior. First, corner half B along with. Goes flat. So I'm gonna go with oh, what is this on the inside? I'm actually gonna go with a rack connector B. Oh wow, okay, yeah, they're half blocks, right? So these will all be ramp A's. There. It's gonna turn out better than I expected. Little cut corner C. Cut corner C. Or we could go notched A. No. Doesn't work here though, I don't think. Does it? Oh, it does. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, slice corner D. Come on. A3. Back A3. And mark for deletion. Oh, thank you, Squiz. Also, hello. Okay, good. Actually leaves us some space between here and here, which is also good. We haven't really fleshed out this area, and that's fine. Right now we'll concern ourselves with this area. So we cannot put a artillery here. Can put turrets. Bases. Good. I'm in. Oh no, shift. There gives me the feeling that a artillery. Can we have more than one artillery? We can have two artillery. Maybe. No, we can't because it's blocked. Unless we push it back by one. Now, oh no, we can have Can't have it start from there. The problem is we tried to get another set of turrets in there. It's going to be off by a little bit. Oh, I still can't do it. Could do it in this one, probably. Goes down one more. Okay, let's see. Let's say we put a turret here. Obviously, these turrets will be limited to whatever we're looking at, whatever the ship is facing. But I'm okay with that. You know, I have the tendency to face my enemies. This makes me want to move these turrets down. That gap is in a set. I suppose I'm only moving one turret. I feel like we need to do something in this section. Probably this transition, that line that comes out. Because I don't really need to use that, do I? no, because we could do it on the top. That's fine. Interesting bit. Bottom, we can't do that. This is going to be a retractable turret, so I think cut corner D is probably our safest point. We could go. Where would a notch be? No, because that just. I'm gonna do the same thing. Well, they put a ramp A double here just because quicker than just the ramps. And it too, it's like either way we're gonna need stuff behind it. Oh, you know what? Carbon chip. Yeah. No. See what our choices are. Oh wait, I know. Go at B double. No, that's not gonna work either. Off into a corner here. Once I do that, that'll look awkward. You know what? Cut corner B into ramp A. Get that little edge there. We change this into a different one. What other options? The ramp A double. Nope, nope, we can't because that'll leave the bottom open. Swap them and see what. Change these as well. Okay. Step is matrix. Now go to cut corner A and to ramp A though. There we go. Happy Cyclops. That's much better. Do I have the option to change these as well? This one's sure. I only change from the one block. So let's see what it looks like. That's fine. Then the artillery will be yep, that's fine. Okay. Because this artillery is so far forward, we won't be able to put another one in the back. So perhaps block this out for normal turret. I mean, yes, eventually we'll have to put something there, but be that. Keep it box. Gotta clean them up. Chasing around the whole, looking for a box. A box. Go with space. So then problem is the central one is still going to be there in the center, even though these are off by one block and can still fire past these turrets. This one is going to be blocked by this one. Is there an issue? I think there is an issue with us going down. Okay, in this case, I think we're better off putting these ones inward. Kind of negates this shaping here. That's okay. We want this to be raised by one block. Maybe not. Maybe slice corner B. Bring us comfortably into cut corner C. Let's see, what are our options really? If I go cut corner C. I think cut corner C is the right choice. That'll give us corner half B here. Oh, 5-4 and 1-4. Okay. Go like this. It's gonna be weird because it's gonna go flat and then transition up. So I'm kind of forced to go. I like the way it looks. Problem is now raise it to a higher level. So actually, what I'm gonna do, take this out and put a ramp, a double there. Just gonna change that look slightly, but still. Acceptable. The reason for that is this allows us to transition using a cut corner A into, let's go slice corner A1 into a rampy double and back to a slice corner A1. Let's put this as ramp. Double. That gives that back turret a very, very small firing arc. Basically just straightforward. These guys will be able to fire at a nicer range because sitting from here, I can see all the way over there and large area. But sitting from here, I can kind of see the same area. Doesn't really block it that much. All right, good. That's that. Go to the back of this. Now here's where the artillery lives. The thing about artillery is it sticks out. It sticks out 2. So this one is going to stick out 2 blocks, which means we can't use this or this. Which I think brings us to, I think it's going to be fine. because we want this anyways. I think that's more than, yeah. So this is where the artillery is going to go. Which leaves us kind of with this section here. We can do something with this. Let's do something with it. Section that is 3 by 5. Artillery above it, whose main gun is going to be somewhat centered. The blocks. What can we do? We also have a space behind this because, I mean, that layer's wasn't for the artillery here, it would have done it. But as it stands, we can't, so let's do something with it. My initial thought is a corner half A and a ramp A double. There really is no other block that gotta have something here. You gotta have some kind of thickness. A slice corner A1, no, a cut corner B would give us ramp A's throughout here. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm gonna say we could do these ones on the inner ones, but we don't have a corner piece for this. As 6 would say, yet another missing transition. what did I say? S6 has said. Put that today. Now, remember I said the back was going to be covered anyways, right? So. Layers within layers. Could kind of mirror this, I suppose. Problem is you don't have a slice corner D that with that little lip like that. So it would go under it. Don't change the colors. Box. So our option would be this, that's size corner D. Oh, we could do we could. Because the side of this is not a rabbit. The only one. We need a slice corner D. We need a slice corner E. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense. Realistically, this should be a slice corner E because it kind of matches the meaning of this. And then there should be a slice corner D that has that little notch. A notched B wouldn't work either. Oh wait. You know, we could use a ramp connector A. That could work. Actually, that could work nicely. Let's try that. Alright, so we want to remove all of it. Wait, is that gonna work? And because yeah, it's gonna look weird because it's gonna bring it upwards in the center as opposed to going downwards in the center. It's not necessarily what I imagined when I thought of that piece, but I will reserve judgment until I've seen what it looks like. Maybe horrible and maybe wonderful. We don't know until we try. So that's the angle. This piece should also work here. Then kind of hard here. That brings us to a ramp B. Which I want to use a ramp B couple. Just also we kind of have a similar effect up here, so consistency. Like that looks very, very, I like it. Very Gundam look. Okay, good. All right. We can actually put the guns in. The guns in. Well, let's put the artillery in because. Oh, did I make? I need to make more artillery, I think. I don't think I have that many. I didn't steal enough off of the ships that I destroyed. Got 4 here. This is all. Yes, there's more in one more. I don't need to make a crap ton of artillery. Okay. Go with floating ballistic. Nothing says super cannon like 5 artillery firing. And still, is it? Yeah, it's still not impeding the width of the actual doors that are back there. Those doors are really far back. Those are really, really far back. Do they have to be that far back? Can they be closer? They have to be here. I don't think they have to be here. No particular reason we could put them right here. Hey, Ash. Haven't seen you in a while. I mean, it's 5 artillery, but there's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and another 6 up here. So that's 16 normal guns. Or whatever, like I don't know what I'm gonna put in there yet. I can't decide what it should be. You know what? We'll probably use plasma cannons because the combination of the plasma cannon to take out the shield and the artillery hit to hit it afterwards once the shield is down. Because I think the artillery projectile is slower than the plasma cannon. 24 artillery. I mean, there's probably going to be more than 24 artillery on this ship, seeing as how much surface space I have. But this section is a focused fire section, right? This section is generally not going to be able to see anything but what's in front of me, whether it's in front of me directly or slightly below. As long as it's in front of me, these guys should be firing. 24 was the max? Is it? Is it the max? I know that 22 is the max for fixed weapons as long as you have 2 separate types of weapons, right? But I never heard of 24 being the max artillery. That is news to me. That being said, I don't think I've tested it. Now wait, hold on a second. Let me just check the Raven, because the Raven may have more than 24 artillery. Actually, can I check it from here? I think I can. I'd open registry. Yeah. Thank you for doing half the job, Ida. The Raven Award. Devices. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 14 only, so that doesn't test the theory. It may very well be the max, I don't know. Well, I'm sure I'll find out once I try to put more than 24. Alright, let's move this dwarf here. And I wanted one back. What's the coolest thing? 24 artillery? Oh, Ida. I made her. I used a software called Sound Attack and created programs using keystrokes and voice commands. It's doable, but time consuming. I haven't finished her yet. I've got a lot of things I don't have the time to do anymore. Unfortunately, too many open projects. I still haven't even finished prepping for season 7, which is really coming soon. That's going to take a lot of time. But I am not enthused to do it right now, so it's just going to have to wait. Quality is going to suffer. Okay, cool. Now, let's move these doors. Do I have spare doors? Okay, take it in. The next step would be to get her to control the music, which I think can be done. Maybe. Might have to do it in a different way. I don't see any hangar doors here, but it could be just because I'm blind. Oh, I don't see any hangar doors. I'm curious about these. If I could use these, because I've seen a lot of people use them. Particularly watching M321_1. Okay. So we don't have any hangar doors. I'll have to pick them up. Right. What size are these? 13 by 7. 13 by 7, that makes it 14 width and 26 height. Probably enough to get a small capital vessel in. There they go. They went to the connected, which is expected. I'm gonna go with Grace and Expert. I don't know if I played that already, so I'm gonna skip and go and see the bottles and focus. All right. Now these options for these have changed. You can now do them up to 13 length, which is kind of strange because I could have swore I saw 16 length. Hungry again? Yes, I'm the dialogues. So. Of course, the problem with this is... Wait. No, I guess it's not really a problem if I put them from top to bottom, right? Okay, let me put in the doors first, because I want those to be on the outside, and then I'll put the other ones behind them. By 7. Please tell me I don't. Sure. It won't let me place it unless I place. I can't rotate it as a whole. Huh, is this smaller? Did not fit in here. Oh, it does, okay. Right side. Huh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, I don't have God mode in survival, so. Huh. Oh, this is too high. Okay, let's see. So 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, I keep on. I made note of it. I just didn't do anything about it. Come on. Okay, it's too low. Oh wow. Smell memory. Freshly cut grass. Freshly cut grass, really, the screams of the grass that is being cut, is being chemically. Finally. Well, so many human stories describe the wonderful smell of freshly cut grass and the nostalgia of smelling it. But for me, it just the screams and horror of part of your limbs being chopped off by a giant swinging metal blade. Hashtag save plant life. Now that I've entered the doors, I can reward myself with food. I better do something quick so I can eat, or so I can get some O2. So that means that this section here is just going to be... But what I want to do is build around the edges of this and build outwards towards the towards this thing. So that way I have space to put sensors in here and whatnot. If I have 3 blocks to get down 3 blocks or 4 blocks. So perhaps we'll start with this. Curve around the back of the artillery. Then we'll go to a ramp B medium, be followed by a ramp D low, but before we get there, actually I'll have to put it in first because I want to put a ramp A double behind it. A double. So that gives us almost a guaranteed 2 spaces. Plus we've covered 3 blocks. Come on, please stop doing this. I put some lights in this section. Go ramp D, ramp A medium, ramp A double. Okay, cool. So that brings us to here, and I think just a ramp D will solidify that look. The next problem becomes the corners here, which I think the ramp, there is no real, a ramp B medium would stretch out too far. In fact, I'm not even sure I want to use a ramp D here. I might want to use something else. Let's see. So my first instinct is let's corner M2. But then here, if I put it here, it forces me into a ramp D. If I use a ramp D low, or no, ramp D connector, that would look like, because that might, no, that's going to transfer it too. Wait, though. What if I used it other way? Side. you select this, that. That would widen it, but would leave me with nothing to put here. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the slice corner A2. Only it's worse because it doesn't give me the ramp D option. That's fine. Let's use slice corner A2. Wait. What's that? Nope, that's not helpful. Also, I'm gonna go with robot line. Takes us to the ramp D. Go all the way to here. Run out. Run out perfectly. Alright, let's go back to the slice corner A2. I'm tempted to lower this by 1. Corner C. The same piece up at the top. We'll need this to push out, which means we'll need a cut corner in B. That'll help us meet with the ramp A. Double this here. And then... Okay, we can go corner half A3 here and corner half B. And that'll give us a cut corner E. But it'd be more interesting if you put in a cut corner D. That on the bottom. That. Because that's kind of a arrow pointing towards the entrance. And we don't really want to go out much further than this because of the turret. So... I think... Oh, corner half A3 medium. Kind of have a switch direction. And then, what is along this line? The ramp D. Which means we could probably use ramp D can... Oh, sorry, that's a... Yeah, that is a ramp. Can we go? No, I don't think we can. Because the ramp D place is always going to end up on the other side of it. How can we transition from this to it? Can we? If we can't, we might have to change it. What is the desired outcome? Let's see. Desired outcome is this. How can we achieve that outcome? We'd have to have a cut corner B behind that. Or what we could do is we could use a slice corner D. Use that to transition the direction. And then put the rep connector D here. Leaving this being where the cut corner A, B, or B goes. Go. All right. We'll grab cell on 2 before we suffocate. What happened? Oxygen. Why don't we have oxygen? Okay. Interesting, I forgot. I sealed this off completely. That whole force field thing is useless now. Nope, we can source. We'll wash off our suit while we're here. I hurt myself. Oh, fully restored. Yeah, so you don't have oxygen in here despite there being a force field. You have to modify. Okay, Zod. Back to Zod is intended for light. Glorified work light. That's what Zod is. Where is what I'm looking for? It's here. It's called Ruby Hubris. It's starting. Okay. Now, when we last left our bold adventurer, he was looking for a rabbi devil. Go. Okay. Let's give it some flare. Maybe just the middle still. We have lights. Oh, that was right. Good. Could mirror the same at the bottom. It's not as good though. I want this to be... want these to be ramp Bs. I want this spot to be a ramp B. And potentially this spot to be a ramp B. Let's put in what we want and work towards that. The desired outcome is... Actually, let's see what a ramp B double. And then we can slightly mirror this by using slice corners B1 here, and just use it straight away afterwards. And just put another ramp B there. Well, ramp B double. What are those? Good. Now we need to make this section work, which probably requires us to remove everything. We can start transitioning before that. Is slice corner A? We can use the slice corner B2, but that I don't think really helps us. That just ends it there. We don't want it to end, we want it to expand. What options do I have? Can't use this because that's for just a ramp B. We don't really have one that's for a ramp B double. What should I have? Could I somehow transition this to a ramp B? Okay, no. Okay. What else we can do is also put in a ramp E here. Just to have this be the only place where that little thing is happening. More holistic. Alright, so we're forced to use this. It doesn't really help us, though, the problem. Maybe the answer is not here. Maybe the answer is on the top. We use a corner half. And there. Okay. That would force a cut corner E here, or alternatively a cut corner D. But in this case, I think we don't really have that bit. We could do, actually we could do a cut corner. I'll see here. Maybe that wasn't the answer. I think that wasn't the answer. I think it was the answer, but it would have to be a block forward, which doesn't work with our little end. There's no way to make it work unless we had one more block width. The issue is that if I do use a cut corner D, it would naturally make sense because it lines up with that. We don't really have a flat thing. Oh yeah, we do have a flat thing. But it wouldn't work this end because this joint template doesn't do. Huh. This a block. Really would be a good spot for spotlights. Spotlights? Don't have spots. Why do we have spots? We're gonna have to go to the shop and order some spotlights. Not to mention a bunch of artillery. But we're still left with this issue. So if we get rid of those, we could. Oh no, because we need these guys. Ah, right. Well, maybe we have this indent. We just simply accept the indent for what it is. Would there be any advantage to having the indent be on the bottom? Or no, this is if we put and I'm gonna go. If I put this here, technically I could curve it back in. Technically. Could use a corner C. By far, one of my favorite pieces. It's weird. It's weird because when you look at it like this, could totally be. Could I get that effect to stand out more? See what I see. Can you see what I see? Oh. Okay, so look at it from here. It's like radiation symbol, but then when you come up to it and look at it up and close, it looks nothing like that. So, but I don't think that illusion stands up. That kind of does. It's weird. I like it. Let's leave it. Which leaves us connecting this, which is an easy one because it's a. Voila. All right, good. Let's finish closing off the top, which is going to be a problem right in the corner. It's going to be a problem. But before we do that, I want to explore. Oh, Wi-Fi. Why is that there? I wanted to explore these as an option. So they are 13 in length. Do they have to touch the bottom, or what's the story? Where do they? Okay. Huh. We could use twice as many of them and make it look like teeth chopping down, right? Or we could use one big like interlocking teeth from top to bottom. Difficult choices. These are difficult choices. I'm gonna go with coming home. I'm looking at the lower right there. Looks like a prime place for artillery. Adjustments in progress. Okay. Well, I don't want to be wasteful, and I think I'm gonna need more than these. Also, the other issue is because these are on the inside, once those hangers and doors go, I'm gonna lose oxygen containment. Is that putting it? Ah, son of a. Yeah, that's frustrating. How come these look different? Oh, because I put them in the other way around. Okay, well, it gives us an opportunity to see which one looks better. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be the inside. And this is meant to be the outside. I think it's how it looks more armored. Ooh, another issue with symmetry. Notice that these two are the outside is facing outwards, and these two, the outside is facing inwards. So we're gonna have to put these in one by one. Next question is, did I cover everything? 13. We don't have enough. We only have 10. Ida, open logistics. Thank you, Ida. I said thank you, Ida. She heard acid. Thank you, Ida. Three. Off. Come on. Come on. Alright, so we need 3 more. Cover the edges, and we'll go for... Doing this will help us when we come to put in the last 3. Limit where they can go. Huh. Gonna have to put in some signal logic to have these open all at the same time. We could go beast mode and just put like several rows of them. I'm tempted to put in smaller ones. Like 12s instead of 13s. Hey, Isling, how's it going? Because that way we can have a block here. Good to hear. So, let's give Isling a progress report. We've created several turret placements here in the front. We've adjusted this so it's not as round as it used to be. What else? That's about all we've accomplished today so far. A couple little fixes here and there. But yeah. Now granted, we could have pushed this wall back even further and got another artillery in. It would make this section much thinner. Gives us a lot more room to put in sensors and stuff like that here. Maybe some spotlights. Alright, let's finish this. Check it out. Alright, so ramp we have no way of going from a ramp D low to a ramp D. Sorry, the connector you are looking for does not exist. Okay. Case. Hmm. So senseless. Whoops. Oh, wait. Okay, that's acceptable. Oh, good. Thinking a corner B. Okay, what about a corner C? Come on. Yeah, okay. Yep. Now we need a solid block. This might be a slight issue. But oh no, it isn't. Cut corner B and then A. Oh no, no, we have to use a cut corner C. Okay, so turn it into a right made up. Plus it'll stick out in a weird way. That doesn't make sense for B. There we go. That's good. Das is good, yeah? Yeah. Ah, okay, so we did run out. Didn't. Oh. What is this piece called? Corner small seed look. That is not the piece I was looking for. Also, it's very small. I wonder how much it weighs being so small. $1.32 tons. This weighs 1.38 tons. You're telling me that this is only 60 kilograms more than the one that is clearly 1/10 of its size. Yes. Splatter done. And for something that needed to be deleted. Oh well. We'll figure it out in the end. Okay, that's good. So now we can return our illusion. Good. missed space. All right. We can also do cool stuff like I'm gonna load these. See what it looks like. They're attracted. Gonna look awkward. But kind of suits with all the grooves and everything. There's going to be a lot of these around. All those can be retractable as well. Let me look at it. Okay. Am I gonna have to change this? Come on. Not what I wanted. Okay, cool. So I don't have to change that. And we can use a ramp E. That should cover both sides, of course. That doesn't work in symmetry. Ooh. Got a whole bunch of other spaces to do that in. So here. I wonder when I paint this, does it paint the other side of the block, or is it just a symmetry for the block? Oh, that's painted. Interesting. So symmetry works on a block level and well, on a face level and a block level. Of course, paintings. Let's look over. Come on. Here. Oh, I'll need to flip these blocks. Okay. Grr. Begin already. Alright, cool. All of this is gonna go. All of the things that I just did are gonna go. I'm gonna spray paint the whole face of everything. Done anyways. Extra blocks and stuff like that. So, but just to have a general idea, but prior to any extra. I go all the way down here with it. I could study my come on. Painful. It's so painful. Also, thank you. Good morning. How has your morning been so far? Might have been easier to just do the whole block and then no. Funny, but no. No. I'm just testing out painting options at this stage. Okay, yeah. Good. Look. So yeah, we finished this today. So we have things which we need to queue up some more of. Which I think I'm going to replace with 12 so I can put a line in there, but we'll get to that. But hey, at least the front section is complete. Got a deflector shield. Hangar door, but hey. So that section is complete. Now we have to finish off this edge here. We have to decide what we're going to do because that has to join with this and with the bottom section. And then we have to finish the bottom, including adding more thrusters for additional lift. But hey, got this done. May not be the prettiest, but at least it's consistently ugly. Oh yeah, well we already got those spaces. We're already blocking out spaces for turrets. Right. There's a whole slew of them here. And any place that's painted orange is marked for a turret, so... Any surface I could put a turret on, I'm putting it on. Pretty much how it's gonna go. We have some shaping left to do on the cells as well. We'll get to that. No rush. Queue up a few things. First of all, artillery. There was an inclination that 24 was the limit, so let's make 20 5 and see if that's the fact. That's the case, because we already have 5 on. So if we make 20, 25, and we need more. These glass doors. I'll make 20. I might use them other places, and I need spotlights, which I'll probably need a lot of. I also want grow lights for internal lights. Being a plant, I like to have a nice environment to work in. I do the same here, but humans seem to find 25 degrees Celsius a little bit warm. Hey, Deet. That's interesting. Okay. Those are all queued up and ready. Hopefully I remember them the next time. Pull them out. But it's not a big deal. The only thing that really needs to go in is the spotlight. Other than that, it's all. Alright. Well. Ahoy, ahoy indeed. You're catching me on the tail end as I'm about to enter hibernation. So, as always, I remind you to take care of yourselves and one another. May the Force forever in your favor. This is Matter Black. One last thing. Just for squiz.
You have accomplished nothing. Literally nothing. Like, nothing at all. Nothing. It does nothing. 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 All.
Commander Black, signing out.
My name is Ida.